Hello, my name is Fabrizio Botero, Executive Chef from Waring, and I'm here to demonstrate the most powerful blender in the market. 3 3/4 horsepower, 1 gallon capacity, stainless steel jar, touchpad control, and most important, brand new, our variable speed. Let's see what they can do. The CB15 series are the most powerful blenders in the market. From nursing homes to hospitals to restaurants to any kind of institution that has a high volume processing, they're perfect. Now the variable speed one is brand new, and I'm going to show you exactly what we can do from soups to sauces to marinades. Let's take a look at one. A hot vichyssoise potato and leek soup. Alright, let's make the soup. I'm going to take the lid off, pour my hot steaming soup into the stainless steel 1 gallon jar. Because of the variable speed, I'm able to do almost all the way up to the top. I'm going to start off with the lid very low to show you. Then I'm going to remove the lid and show you the steamy action. And slowly emulsify that soup. Smell it, it's magnificent. Now to finish it off, just for safety, I'm going to lock it, go on high speed, and make a beautiful puree. Done. Alright, let's see what we came up with. Oh, magnificent. Here we go. 1 full gallon of magnificent soup. Beautifully pureed. No better blender can do this kind of job that fast, that quick, and that amount. 1 full gallon. A little bit of herbs, and here we go. Now let's do the Caesar dressing. And now we're going to make a basic Caesar dressing. We're going to take the lid off, put all the ingredients in, pour the oil, and emulsify this beautiful dressing. Here we go. Eggs, garlic, anchovies, mustard, turn it on. And slowly, slowly pour my oil in. Perfect. Beautifully done Caesar. Creamy, thick. Beautifully emulsified. The CB15 series of high power blenders, now with variable speed. The power is in your hands.
So after a wonderful morning out in the wild, it's time to reward ourselves with a good cooked meal. So this wonderful watercress we got from Jeremy today. Decided we're going to go with a nice garnish. We'll use it in a nice spring-style salad on top of some beef. We have some great grass-fed Washington all-natural beef, no antibiotics, no hormones. We're going to pan-sear it today just for some nice caramelization, good mad flavor. Let the beef speak for itself. Mother Nature has done most of the work. A little bit of oil in our pan. And once that gets up to heat, we have a great company out here that hand-makes pasta, Carso's. We are going to use some of their basic gnocchi, their potato gnocchi, which is yum delicious. So we're going to serve that with the steak, and then some chanterelle mushroom sauce, and then our watercress to garnish. So get another pan going for this. We're up to heat here. There we go. A little bit of salt on the other side. Some butter for our gnocchi. So the beauty of this is probably 60% or more of what actually ending up on the plate actually came locally. Almost a third of the ingredients actually came through Jeremy, our forager. And the idea is to get a little bit of caramelization on the outside of that gnocchi. And then lots of black pepper. The black pepper is to help pair it with the tannins in the beef as well as tannins with red wine. This is meant to go with a nice, real easy drinking, approachable red wine. And the black pepper helps soften both the tannins of the wine. It adds an instant 10 years to any glass of wine you're drinking. A good healthy dose of black pepper. So, nice color there. This color that we're getting on the outside, that's the natural sugars in the beef. Again, the grass-fed beef, it's not as fatty a beef, so there's more concentration of the proteins that are in the meat as well as the sugars that are in the meat. Searing the beef itself actually caramelizes those sugars. Gives it a nice, the same reason we put beef on the grill is we like those charred, those strong, not burnt, but well-cooked flavors on the outside of the beef to pair with the nice creamy, tender beef flavor inside. And that cooked sugar just makes it that much sweeter. The same reason you would cook sugar to make caramel sauce, you want to caramelize the natural sugars in the beef to give it more enhanced, more complex flavor. Same reason we're doing the gnocchi on the outside, potatoes and the grain in there. It's all interesting on its own, but you add a little bit of caramelization, suddenly you bring out those nutty, complex flavors, and then we add the black pepper, and suddenly you've taken 3 different elements, combined them into one ingredient on the dish, and it makes it a completely different dish. So now we've got some nice caramelization in the pan. We're going to let that finish roasting in a nice hot oven. Now we've got all this great caramelization in the bottom here that we don't want to lose. So, using some of our local wine, we're going to deglaze. Get all that nice flavor back. Once that gets down nice and low, we're going to add some of our nice chanterelles. Springtime's great for very young chanterelles starting to come out, teasing us for the summer season. We're going to add a little bit of chanterelles there. Chanterelles have a nice delicate flavor, so we don't want to overcook them. We're going to add a spoonful of some veal stock. Make our own veal stock. We're just going to reduce that down. That peppercress we pulled out of the creek today, we want to trim it back. And all these bottom trimmings we would use for a nice cress sauce. Since the watercress has some pretty intense flavor, I mean, it's nice and young and succulent, we're going to add something a little bit sweet to help balance it out. So we're going to shave a little bit of shallots, add a little bit of color as well. And since we want Mother Nature to speak for us, not speak for her, a little bit of oil, and just a little bit of lemon juice to dress. Again, not trying to reinvent the wheel, just some gnocchi down on the plate. Let's see how our steak's doing. Those beautifully, nicely browned chanterelles makes up our sauce, our little watercress salad. This is Greg Lopez, executive chef at Urbane Restaurant, the Hyatt at Olive 8, serving some grass-fed Washington beef with locally foraged watercress, Atterbane Restaurant.
4 appareils constituent la gamme Junior. Le Junior standard monobloc, pied fixe. Le Junior Plus, avec son pied démontable. Le Junior Fouet, monobloc, fouet fixe. Le Junior Combi, 2 en 1, mixeur plus fouet. La longueur du tube en version mixeur est de 225 mm. Un tube et une cloche en acier inox, un couteau T-métal avec une durée de vie très supérieure à un couteau standard. Ces appareils sont équipés d'un variateur de vitesse, d'une double isolation et d'un bouton de sécurité. Le démontage du pied ou du fouet se réalise d'une manière très simple sur les Junior Plus et Junior Combi. Ils sont bien sûr conformes aux normes d'hygiène et de sécurité en vigueur. La longueur du fouet est de 185 mm. Ce type d'appareil est idéal pour des préparations telles que les potages, les veloutés et les sauces, avec la possibilité de faire varier la vitesse. Réservés aux professionnels, les appareils de la gamme Junior sont à l'heure actuelle la référence sur le marché. Du modèle standard au modèle combi, il couvre sans aucune difficulté tous les besoins pour des préparations allant de 5 à 25 litres. L'entretien est très facile et rapide avec un simple passage sous l'eau. Les appareils dynamiques de la gamme Junior sont légers et maniables. Ces appareils sont élaborés avec des matériaux de qualité et robustes. Les mixeurs de la gamme Junior sauront vous accompagner dans la vie de tous les jours et pour de nombreuses années.
Hello, Fabrizio Botero, Executive Chef for Waring. You want to see the new champ in the back of the house? It's right here. That Vita Prep stuff that you thought it was good? Wait till you see what this can do. 3.5 horsepower, variable speed, and the Raptor jar. And now let me show you what we can do. Egg whites, never done before. Ganache, chocolate grounded to a powder, never done before. Hummus in seconds. Egg whites first. All right, let me show you. It is the variable speed and the jar configuration, very wide at the bottom. They can do egg whites. It takes about 3.5 to 4 minutes, but it's flawless. We're going to start with this and then go right into. It's going to start. And while this is doing, I'll show you chocolate into powder. 8 ounces. 4 seconds. Done. Now, turn down the variable speed, and I'm going to add the heavy cream and make a gorgeous ganache. Wow, here's my ganache. Perfect. Let's check on the egg whites. Just about 1 more minute, and let's do some hummus while we're waiting. chickpeas, garlic, a little oil, little tahini, little lime juice, and to spice it up a bit, some chili paste. Now the olive oil in, lid, turn it on, let it start, turn off my egg whites, and then go back into it, kick it up. Talk about smooth hummus. Look at that. And now let's take a look at the egg whites. Perfectly stiff. Not even if you try it. Stiff, stiff. You want to do meringue, you want to do an angel food cake, they won't even go down. That is perfect. You've never done this in any blender before. Our extreme blenders are the best. Variable speed, back of the house, there's nothing it can't do. Try it out.
Hello and welcome to another instructional short from Waring Commercial. Today we're going to be focusing on the MX1500 XT. This is the most powerful blender in its class at 3.5 peak horsepower. It's also the fastest blender in its class at 30,000 max RPMs. Today we're going to show you a lot of the features. You have adjustable speeds on this unit, you have 4 reprogrammable beverage stations, you have a maximum pulse, you have a reprogrammable normal pulse, you have a drink counter, and it comes with this large polycarbonate sound enclosure which reduces the noise by about 30%. Right now we're using the 64-ounce jar. You also have stainless steel options and 48-ounce jar available to you. Right now I'm going to show you some of the features on the control panel, show you how easy this thing is to program. So if you take a look down here, we're going to program a smoothie recipe in here. First you push speed up and speed down button. You're going to push number 1 to get into the new programming session. And now I'm going to set a speed for a basic smoothie recipe. We're going to start with 40%. We're going to use the max pulse button to enter to the next segment. And we're going to set the time at 7 seconds. Max pulse again, we're going to select our second speed, which will be 70%. As you can see, you hold the speed button down and the speed scrolls through very quickly. So this is a simple process, no computers needed, no nothing. You're doing it right on the control panel. Now we're going to set the last segment at 100%. We're going to put that on for 10 seconds and we're going to run a 25-second smoothie and it's going to be fantastic. Most delicious you'd ever taste if you were here with me. Push speed up and speed down to save it, and now you got program number 1 saved with your specified program. Now I'm going to show you a delicious smoothie recipe. Just put some frozen strawberries in, a lot of them, about half a jar. Put a little yogurt in there for some flavor and some protein, delicious. We'll throw some bananas in there, probably 1 whole banana, and then we're going to add our orange, strawberry, and banana mix. Very nice. It's about 32 ounces, 30 ounces. We'll save a little for later. Cap it off and we're going to throw it on. I'll show you the sound this unit makes and the sound it reduces with the sound enclosure. You got your number 1 program. You can hardly hear anything. We're at segment number 2 right now. You heard the speed just kick up. And when the sound enclosure closes, you can hear everything I say. It's really fantastic. Now we hit the 100%, we got about 4 more seconds, and you got the smoothest smoothie around. Ah, fantastic. Obviously very simple to program. It makes delicious smoothies in no time at all. This is the MX1500 XT from Waring Commercial. Thank you very much.
Blending is one of the most basic tasks in the professional kitchen. But there's more to blending food than many of us realize. Most chefs would agree that bigger is better when it comes to motors. And our blender, a Waring Extreme, has as big a motor as you can get before the lights in the kitchen start to dim. The design of the pitcher and the blades is critical. The blades don't simply cut the food down to size, instead they act in concert with the shape of the pitcher to compress, shear, and even cavitate the blending food. And flow is also important. A well-engineered pitcher, like the one on our Waring blender, keeps the food flowing past the blades without the need to plunge a spatula into the mix. As you can clearly see here, liquid at the top of the pitcher is being pulled down by the blades before being cut and flung out to the sides of the pitcher. This is efficient blending. A final factor is the durability of the blades. A solid professional blender forges its blades from exotic steel alloys that are extremely hard, keeping the edges sharp even after grinding the toughest foods down to size. Really hard, durable foods strain the motor and work to dull the blades. An extreme example is grinding wood chips into small fragments for our kitchen smoker. A lesser blender would overheat before getting the job done and the blades would quickly dull. But not everything in the kitchen needs such brute force. Sometimes it's better to use a bit of finesse and turn down the speed of the blade to do the best job, like for our olive puree.
A clever and fast way to remove pits from olives for making tapenades or purees is by blending them on the lowest setting. Blend the olives with no liquid for about 30 seconds, or until the pits are completely clean. Working on the lowest setting allows you to chop through the meat of the olive, but not crack the pit into shards. Once you have blended the olives for about 20 to 30 seconds, you can empty them out into a container and separate out the undamaged pits. At this point, you are ready to make your tapenade, or you can return the olive meat to the blender and continue to blend into a puree. With the aid of Waring's high-powered motor, you can blend durable foods like raw carrots into a soup with nothing more than a little water and thyme. To do this, add clean and trim product to the blender and add just enough water to blend. Once the food begins to cook from heat created by friction, it is only a matter of minutes until it becomes a velvety smooth puree. But blenders can only puree something so fine, so blending for long periods of time will not yield an increasingly fine puree. However, the longer you blend the puree, the more the flavor will develop and change as it becomes hotter and further reduced. This is by far the easiest way we know how to make a smooth vegetable puree. In order to blend something like peanuts, which seem very dry but contain a large amount of oil, it is important not to blend too quickly. You will also need to consider the volume you are blending. Too little, and the peanuts are flung to the sides and never make contact with the blade. Too much, and the peanuts will stop flowing and the blades will free spin, at which point you will then need to scrape down the sides over and over, and this can become a huge waste of time. To blend the peanuts into a butter with minimal effort, start with about 600 grams of nuts on the lowest setting until they become fine pieces and begin to flow. At this point, you can begin to slowly turn up the speed. As a blender becomes warmer, the fat in the nuts begins to thin, and as this happens, the puree will begin to flow smoother and smoother. You can decide when the nut butter is finished based on how coarse or how fine you want your nut butter. These are just a few of the many amazing things you can do with the Waring Extreme Blender. With its powerful motor, excellent blade design, and lasting durability, the Waring Extreme is a great addition to any commercial kitchen.
Hi, my name is Fabrizio Botero, Executive Chef for Waring. If power is what you want in blenders, it's right here in the MX series. 3.5 horsepower. Powerful enough to do just about anything in the bar, in the kitchen, in the smoothie shop, just about anything you want. And the Extreme series has every possible configuration that you would need in a blender. Toggle switch, membrane control, timer. It comes with different jars from stainless steel to 48 ounce, and the newest jar of all, the Raptor, right here. Wait till you see what it can do. 3.5 horsepower will make this blender blast anything from ice crushing to margaritas to smoothies to coffee drink. Let me show you exactly how everything works. Okay, you thought ice crushing was easy? Not in any blender, but ours with the Raptor jar. Okay, we're going to put some ice in here. And we're going to blend it on high for 3 to 4 seconds. Wow! It's done. Unbelievable. Okay. Take a look at that. Have you ever seen anything so powerful? The Raptor jar. Okay, you saw the ice, and that's why we call it the Raptor. It is so aggressive. It will do drinks, everything, literally in seconds. We have a 10 seconds timer here. I'm going to do a strawberry daiquiri with a strawberry mix, some rum, a bucket full of ice. And You think you can do it? Watch this. Even one more last ice cube. See? Didn't have to do anything. And now I'm going to have a fantastic drink. Fantastic drink. Look at this. It's like a gelato. It's so thick and gorgeous and beautiful. Voila. Mmm. Perfect. Perfect. And that was some extreme power. And talk about the power. What about the warranty? 3 years on the motor. 2 years parts and labor. That is what Waring does for you. Great blender series, the Extreme.
Prede cuir, poder.